This turkey sandwich is probably one of my favorite all time. Not this exact one, but like turkey sandwiches with stuffings is one of my favorite sandwiches. Any time of year. Welcome to Love Coast and to a truck lunch. I haven't done one of these in a minute, but I'm excited about it. I've got a Diet Coke, and I've got potato wedges from Tim Hortons. I haven't had these in ages. I actually wasn't even sure if they still had them. Oh, and I guess I don't get ketchup. There they are. I'm starving. Not bad. My only complaint with these is that they're baked. They're not fried. So sometimes they're a little bit not chewy, but anyway. They're just not as crispy. Anyway, sorry, I'm starving. And then for the main, this is brand new on their fall menu. It's called a turkey stacker. So it's got turkey, looks like mayo, and stuffing and cranberry sauce on it. Now they came out with a beef one, the beef stacker, I think it's called. I can't remember, which I wanted to try on the channel. I just hadn't had a chance yet. But then I saw that they had this one, which brand new, I think last week. So I thought I would try that. And then I also got dessert from their fall menu, but we'll get into that later. Anyway, how's your week been? It's been busy. I did a Sunday Night Live this week, which went pretty good. Played some Sudoku, so that was fun. Thirsty too. I'm just gonna have a few more of these wedges and then I'll get into the turkey. I gotta move it though, it's really hot on my leg. I'm glad the spot that I used to record is still available. I was worried I was gonna get down here and they're gonna be shooting a movie or something like last time. But it's finally cooled down enough that I can record without melting my camera or, be covered in sweat by the end of it. It's supposed to be hot tomorrow again, but today's supposed to be kind of middle. September here is always weird. Like, it can be really cold and rainy, or you can get really hot days and you think it's still August. I know last year I took the air conditioner out of the window like the first week in September because it was so cold, and then like 2 weeks later we had a heat wave and it was scorching hot and I had to get it back out of storage and put it back in the window. So you just never know. Okay, let's see what this is all about. There it is. Oh. Oops. I have mayo all over my shirt. That's probably why they put it in the box. Let's wrap it up in that napkin. I don't need any more. I guess they only gave me one napkin. Oh well. Anyway. Oh, here comes an airplane. I do have the windows open just a crack. Just to kind of let a little bit of airflow happen. can't wait anymore. I'm starving. I said that like 4 times already. Anyway, there it is. Turkey, actual turkey, not deli meat turkey. Healthy dollop of mayo, some stuffing, and some cranberry sauce. So, looks good. Cheers. That's good. It's a little bit dry, although it's only the first bite. That's a little bit better flavor on the second bite. This turkey sandwich is probably one of my favorite all time. Not this exact one, but like turkey sandwiches with stuffings is one of my favorite sandwiches. Any time of year. This is the best time of year for that because all the different sandwich places come out with a turkey sandwich. I think I had one of the Firehouse ones. Firehouse Subs, I had their turkey one on the channel last year. It was really good. That was a good bite. I got more stuffing. Somebody made a comment on one of my videos I should talk about. Do like comic books and talk about like favorite movies and stuff. If you look way back, I did do some comic book reading ones. Before when I was doing Faceless channel. And I stopped doing them because they just didn't get a lot of views. But I'm definitely open to trying that again. I've got some stuff for next week. It's not comic books, but it's a similar idea. So, we'll see how that goes. And then movies. I've done a couple of videos where I've talked about like movies and stuff. I should do another one of those. Overall, I would say it's good. It's got good flavor. It's just a little dry, even with all the mayo. And I know turkey is generally dry, but I don't know. I guess I know it's turkey. As if it was chicken disguised as turkey. It'd be more moist. These are better than I remember, though. Would have been nice to get ketchup, but oh well. I have been doing a lot of reading lately. I mentioned at the end of my live on Sunday that I got a Kindle, and what kind of happened? I was talking to somebody at work about reading and books, kind of in general, and they said that they had got a Kindle because it has a font on it for people who are dyslexic, which I am. Not like crazy bad, but you know, I've learned to cope is maybe not the right word, but I've learned to deal with it. It doesn't really affect me day to day, but it does make it a little more difficult for me to read. And they were saying how this font for dyslexic people is really helpful. So I borrowed a Kindle from somebody I know and turned it on and tried it, and reading was like a breeze. It was, I can't explain how, but it was just, I found it easier to read. So I bought a Kindle and bought a book. And I read the whole thing in a weekend. Which is crazy for me. Like, usually it takes me like a month to read a novel, because without that font, when I'm reading, I can't, I have a hard time focusing, and I'll forget what I just read, and I'll just get, a page and a half and I'm falling asleep. But for something about this font, it just helps me focus, and I'm just breezing through pages. So if you don't know, what it looks like, you can just Google it. But it weights the letters, so the bottom of the letters is thicker or heavier than the top of the letters. And apparently, what that does is it keeps my brain from flipping the letters and knowing which way the letters are supposed to be orientated in the word. I don't know how exactly it works. I just know it works. So last night I finished my 5th novel in 4 weeks, which is insane to me. Because I see those people online, they're like, oh yeah, I read 50 books this year, I read 80 books this year. And I always thought, like, there's no way. Like, you're listening to audiobooks. Or you're just, reading the summaries. Or, like, there's no way. Does that make you read that many books? Or maybe it's like their whole job or something. This is just sit around and read books. But now, I could see that. How you could read a, 500-page novel in 2 days. So, I read, let me see. I read Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. That was good. That was recommended by somebody at work. I probably wouldn't have found that on my own, but we happened to be talking about the Challenger explosion from the 80s, and they were saying how this book was kind of inspired by that, and had a lot of NASA stuff in it, as well as, like, there's a love story element to it too, but anyway, but they were saying how it was really good, so I read that. That was really good. Excuse me. I finished Good Omens, which I had by Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett, which I had started, but kind of lost interest. But I was only like 20% in or something. So I finished that one, and then I finished Looking for Alaska by John Green. Same thing. I just, kind of, it was an okay book. I just kind of lost interest. But anyway, so I picked that, finished that, and then I read Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir, which a lot of people love, and I think it's good. I just wasn't, I don't know, I wasn't as happy with the ending as other people were. No spoilers. And then this last weekend, I read Trevor Noah's book, Born a Crime, I think. Anyway, it was really good. I was expecting it. I had heard it was good, and I was expecting it to be. Sorry, I'm just checking to make sure I'm still recording. I thought it was going to be about his comedy and about starting in stand-up and stuff like that, but it wasn't about that at all. It was about him just growing up in South Africa and stories about growing up in South Africa. It was actually really interesting. It's one of those South Africa is like, I know of it and I know a little bit about the apartheid and a little bit about the history, but not really like very broad strokes. I didn't really know any like personal stories of people who, you know, actually live there. You know, living here is not something you don't meet a lot of people from there. So that was really interesting. And actually, sometimes you get those biographies like that and they can be a little bit boring. But this wasn't. He's a really good storyteller. That's it for the witches. So, now I'm going back and looking for all these books that came out years ago that I would have read when they came out, but I just wasn't really that into reading. But now with this Kindle thing, you know, I want to go back and read. So I read, what's it called? The Dan Brown book that they made into a movie. It was really controversial. Anyway, the prequel to that book, or the first book in that series, is called Angels and Demons. The Da Vinci Code. That's what it's called. So I read the Da Vinci Code years ago. Excuse me, I think it would have been about a year or so before the movie came out. I knew the movie was coming out and I thought it looked interesting, so I read the book. And I really enjoyed it. So anyway, when I was looking for books, I looked up Dan Brown, and I saw he has a new book coming out, that it was book 6 in the series. So I thought, oh well, I should go back and see what else is there. So I went and looked and remembered about Angels and Demons being the first book, which I think they made into a TV series or a movie too. I don't remember, but I haven't seen it. So anyway, so that one's next. And I was able to get it on Kindle for only $2.99, so I was happy with that. Okay, back to lunch or dessert. So on Tim Hortons' fall menu, they have a pumpkin spice muffin, and they have, I can't remember, a couple of pumpkin spice drink things. But they also have a caramel butter tart, which I thought looked good. It's smaller than I thought it would be, but that's okay. Let's see, I don't have any more napkins. I really hope this doesn't drip everywhere. Sometimes the filling can be a little bit runny. So anyway, so that's my dessert. Is that? Oh yeah, it's like caramel just sitting on top. Yeah, you can taste they definitely put salt on the top, you can taste it. If you've never had a butter tart before, I don't know how to explain it. It's just like caramely kind of melted sugar and butter inside of a pastry. When I was a kid, my grandmother used to make them, but she put walnuts in them, which I quite enjoy. Some people put raisins in them. Oh, I'm making crumbs everywhere. Some people put raisins in them, which I don't really care for. problem with the raisins. I just don't really want them in my butter tart. It's pretty good. It's not as sweet as I was expecting. Maybe that's because of the salt. It's not really runny either, which is good. Airplane, or that might be a helicopter. Yeah, so I'm looking for book recommendations. Last year, I read Leviathan Wakes by Comey, Corey, I can't remember. Anyway, so I actually bought the second book, which is Calbian's War, something like that. It's pretty thick. I bought it in the summertime because I was going to start reading it, and then I just never got to it. So now I kind of want to rebuy it on Kindle. So I might do that after I finish Angels and Demons. We'll see. I had set a goal on Goodreads to read 12 books this year, which I was seriously falling behind. So I'm at 6 now because I read one. I read The Winter Fortress before I got the Kindle. That's actually a good book too. It's about the guys that stopped Hitler from building an atomic bomb before the Americans did. It can drag a little bit in the middle, but it was good. I was impressed. It's a good read. Anyway, so I'm at 6 books. I might get to 12, but I'm thinking for next year I should set the goal for 18 and just see how it goes. I know I've read, like I said, 5 books in 4 weeks, but I don't know that I can keep up that pace. Life gets busy and stuff like that. So anyway, that was a good butter tart. The salt was good, but it was almost too much salt. Anyway, I've done enough rambling. I gotta get back to work, so thanks for having lunch with me. And as the whispers fade, let relaxation take over. And until next time, have a good night.